All right, so before we talk about merging our branches back into master, I want to show you one very helpful git command. And that command is actually git log dash dash graph dash dash one line dash dash decorate dash dash all. So I know that was a bit of a mouthful, but again, that's git log dash dash graph dash dash one line dash dash decorate dash dash all. So I'm going to press enter here. And you can see that it actually shows you a list of all of the commits you've made on your repository. So these were all commits made on master. I know I probably shouldn't have done that. And again, we were doing those commits before we talked about branching. Then from there, we actually did two different branches. So you see a branch here indicated by a red line going slanting that way. And that was on the multiple shoes branch, and we have one commit. And then on the other branch, index styling, we have a different commit as well. So you can see based on this tree that like this index styling and multiple shoes diverge. They diverge from master and they diverge from each other. So they don't actually have anything in common. They don't necessarily have like dependencies or anything like that. So I know that that is a little bit of a mouthful. So let's actually make it into a git alias. So instead of putting it in our bash RC, we're going to make it a git alias. And the way that we do that is git config dash dash global and then alias dot and then whatever the alias name should be. So I'm going to make mine LG. So git LG. And then you type in the name of the command without git in front. So that's going to be log dash dash graph dash dash one line dash dash decorate dash dash all. And now if we do a git LG, it's going to do the same thing as before. Okay, so now that we have that git LG command, let's go ahead and actually merge our branches back in. So now that we're on master, what we're going to do is merge one of our branches in. So you can't merge multiple branches, you have to do this one at a time. So let's go ahead and merge our index styling branch in. You can do this in any order, it doesn't really matter. But let's go ahead and do that first. So we're going to do a git merge index styling. And then what that's going to do is it's going to take all the differences that we had in one of our branches. So it's going to take every commit that we had and merge them into our current branch, which is master. So now if we do a git status, we're going to see that there's nothing to commit, but now we should be able to see all of our changes. So as you can see, this is actually formatted, or this is styled the way that we would expect to in our previous change. So now that we have this, all we have to do is do a G push. We're just going to do a pull and then a push. And now this is writing out to GitHub. So keep in mind again that committing doesn't mean that those changes are going to be on GitHub. We have to do a git push. Otherwise, those changes won't be available on GitHub. They're only going to be available locally. Now, the same thing we're going to do, we're going to merge in the other branch. But before we do that, let's do a git LG. So we see a git LG, index styling exists, and now it says head to master. So what that means is basically we've merged that branch into master. We called a git merge, and now it's basically going to say that, oh, this branch has already been merged. So what we want to do is do a git branch -d for delete, and then you get rid of the branch that after you've merged everything in. So now it's going to say deleted branch index styling, and now if we do another git LG, now we should only see one branch now. So this no longer says index styling or anything like that. It says that here is the master. So if you're ever confused where you are, you look for head. So head is going to be where we are, and it's on master. It's no longer on index styling. So similarly, at this point, what we're going to do is we're going to merge multiple shoes into this as well. So what we're going to do is git merge multiple shoes. Aha! Now it says auto merging something, but it says there's a conflict. So a merge conflict is something that's really important in GitHub, or in Git. A merge conflict arises when you make a change that conflicts with the changes that exist either in something that you just pulled or something that you're merging, whatever happens. So it's going to say conflict in whatever file. So templates/index.html. And it says automatic merge failed, fix conflicts, and then commit the results. So I'm going to go ahead and close this for now so that we have a little bit more room to see what we're dealing with here. So let's open up index.html if it's not already open. And then what you're going to observe is that we made a couple changes. So in our head or our master branch, we styled it differently. Remember how we did width equals 400 pixel and height equals 400 pixel? Well, that was the change that we made. But in the other branch, we ended up wrapping it in a for loop. So basically Git at this point is like, I don't know which change you want to take. Do you want to take this width and height thing that we did? Or do you want to take this for loop? When the reality of this is that we actually want to take both of them. So what we're going to do is take this change and we're just going to apply it. So we're going to take this change and move it into here. So all these things mean is these less than signs mean that the changes between here and the equals is the changes on head. Or wherever you are. So like wherever your latest commit was, those are the current changes. And then these changes, so it says greater than and then multiple shoes. So the changes between the equal sign and the greater than sign are the changes that you're trying to merge it with. So that's our changes from our multiple shoes. So again, we had something that looks like this. We're going to take these changes from our head and we're going to merge them manually with this one. So there are certain situations where you might not want to take both changes. You might want to just take one of them. For example, let's say that we no longer want to do this 400 pixel stuff. In that case, we would just delete everything between the less than and the equal sign, and then we would keep everything between the equal sign and the greater than sign. But in this case, we want to do both of them. And in today's homework, for homework 7, you're going to want to do both of them as well. You're going to want to manually figure out what other people have changed and what you've changed, and you want to reconcile them together. So that's how we deal with a merge conflict. So we're going to save this file. And then now if you look up here at our branch, you see master merging. So this is really important. What we're going to do is do a git status. It's going to say on branch master, you have unmerged paths, fix conflicts, and then run git commit. Great. So all we're going to do is commit this as well. So let's go ahead and do a git add on that, and then a git commit, fix merge conflicts. And then I usually like to say what I did. So I'm going to say accept both head and multiple shoes. So I'm going to say head and branch multiple shoes. And then I might be even more specific and say head is master and branch multiple shoes. All right, so now if we do a git log, so git lg, we're going to see that now we're in like this weird situation, right? So we're trying to merge multiple shoes back into master. So that's all that's saying at this point. So now we're going to continue doing a git merge multiple shoes. It already says we're up to date. Great. So now we're just going to do a G push at this point. Actually, before we did a G push, what we really should have done, and this is actually important, is we should have run everything and made sure that things are the way we want. And the reason that's important that we verify that before we do that is master always has to be clean. Master should never have bugs. Master should never be in an untested form or anything like that. So we should have run this and then we should have pushed our code. I did forget to do that. That was bad practice. But now that we're doing that, luckily there's no harm, no foul, because it does look like everything is good to go. So what we did now, and let me do a git lg just to show you where everything is. It still looks like we have this multiple shoes thing that we don't need anymore since we've merged it in. So let's do a git branch -d multiple shoes. And now let's do another git lg, and it looks something like this. Hmm. I'm actually not sure why we're seeing this divergence here, but at this point, everything is merged back into master, so you shouldn't have to worry about your different branches and everything like that. This is pretty much a straight line. I'm just not sure why going, it's diverging the way it is right now. So, in summary, what we've done here is basically we went over how to branch. We used branches to develop on our features. Once those features are complete, once we've tested them, we merge those branches back into master. We look at our git logs to make sure that everything looks right. We do those git merges. Sometimes you'll result in merge conflicts. Sometimes you want to take both changes, sometimes you only want to take one of those changes, etc. It really depends on your situation there. And then we look back at our git log, and then we realize that things looked a little weird. I'm not completely sure why this was happening, but that's okay. And then we ended up deleting our unused branches. So that's the workflow that I want you to follow from now on. In order to use Git, you should be having a clean master branch. Develop all of your features inside of other branches that you create, and then merge those features back into your master branch once they're tested, once they're thoroughly accounted for, and you've done everything. This way, you can work on like 5 different features at the same time, and you can switch back and forth between them. That's the way we do it in industry, and that's the way that you're going to be doing it in class, because that's how you're going to be that's going to be enforced whether you work in industry, whether you work in open source repositories, like whatever repositories you end up working in your careers. You're probably going to be they're going to be enforcing that you use this paradigm.